Hey everyone, this is Rachel. Thanks for clicking on my video. And y'all, I've been watching the news, and I wanted to come in and talk about everything that's going on politically. All this stuff with Biden, with Trump, Project 2025, and the current climate in America. The one thing that I want to say up front is I find it quite curious that Biden has been in office for 4 years. Sitting in that Oval Office as the President of the United States, doing his job, and now we're being told that he is incapable of doing it, that he's too old, and that he needs to step aside. My question is, who's been running the country then? Because say what you want to say about Biden, he might be old, he might be, not as sharp as he was, he's slower than he was, and he doesn't perform well anymore on a debate stage. He has been in that office. Him and his administration have cleaned up a lot of what Trump did when he was in office. So the team that he's assembled around him has been what has gotten us through the last 4 years. Now I know that a lot of people are saying, hey, I don't want either one of them. They're both old. We need some new blood in there. I get it. Trump is 78, Biden is 81. But we only have two choices. A no vote for Biden is a vote for Trump. Do you remember what it was like in this country when Trump was president? The confusion, the craziness, everything that we went through, everything that we witnessed with him. I'm a bit confused also about them telling him to step aside, because I always was taught that if the president is in office and he can no longer fulfill the duties of that office, then he steps aside, his vice president is sworn in, and the vice president becomes the president. So my question is this: are they wanting him to step aside and put someone in his place, not Kamala? And what does that mean for her? I'm confused. I also believe that the media is being very complicit in this takedown of Biden. They know that there are only two choices. And if people were riding with Biden, all the way to the point of the debate, and then seconds after the debate ended, they started this barrage, this attack on Biden, that some people who are not capable of thinking for themselves will say, hey, yeah, they're right. You know what? I'm not voting for Biden. He seems confused. He wasn't too confused to keep the country running the last 4 years and implement policies that have helped a lot of us. He wasn't too confused to clean up some of the messes that were left by the Trump administration. And then let's talk about Trump, y'all. Trump is not wanting to be president for the good of the country, to make this country better, as he says. Trump has an agenda. He has a motive, a reason. He wants this for him. He has a score to settle with his political opponents, with his legacy, because, he couldn't believe that he lost the election to Biden. We heard him say that. Also, when we speak about Trump, let's talk about this Project 2025. Y'all, you can go to their website. It's called project2025.org. And this book that everyone's talking about now is on there. Now, the book is 900 pages. It's over 900 pages. So it's a lot. But there is a table of contents in the book. And then right after the table of contents, there's something in the book called the foreword. It's about 25 pages, and it kind of gives you a brief snapshot of what the contents of this book is about. When people are telling you, you need to read this to understand what this Republican agenda is going to be all about, I implore you to read it, to pay attention. Just the things that I myself have read. I have read different pages in that book, and I'm like, what now? What? They're going to do what? They want to do what? This is the contents of this book will change the fabric of America. It will set us back, not decades, y'all, not back to the 50s, the 40s. This will set us back a couple hundred years. Because some of the ideas in this book are so out there, so archaic, so weird, that you're like, is this what they really want? These people are fanatical evangelical Christians, and some of their ideas about women, gay people, minorities, immigrants, it's bad. They also want to destroy and dismantle different factions of our government. Department of Education, they want to mess with the military. Just when you read it and you take in the total picture, it's a lot, y'all. It is a lot. And they're talking about doing this on day one if Trump gets in. They are saying that they want to fire on day one 50,000 government workers and put in their people. In this book, they also talk about, once this administration gets in and once, they start into it, these changes that they're planning on making, if the American people go against it or fight back and say, hey, we're not doing this, that the president is going to have the authority to turn the military on the public, weaponize the military against the citizens of the United States of America. The reason why people are telling you to pay attention to Project 2025 is because it would be like a new world order. Because America is who we are, if we change our values and the foundations that we claim to be built on to fit what's in this book, it's going to affect the rest of the world. And it's not in a good way. It makes you wonder about where we're going as a country. And if we were to follow this, what it would mean for our future. They always talk about that America is one of the greatest civilizations that ever graced the face of the earth. Well, there were other great civilizations like the Roman Empire. And if you know the history of the downfall of the Roman Empire, they imploded from within. From within. And to me, history repeats itself. So all this confusion that we have going on in America, all this political mess that's brewing right before this election, pay attention. Don't be swayed by what the media is saying about Biden. Yes, he's an old man. Yes, he's not as sharp as he once was. But again, we only have two choices. There are parts in this book that talk about, you know, what they want to do with women's health. All of the advances that we made with the Affordable Care Act, expanding women's health, they want to do away with it. They even talk about not only abortion, but contraception, you know, jailing teachers if they teach from banned books, putting a teacher in jail if they teach from a banned book. The type of government that the Republicans want is almost like a dictatorship, like Russia and Kim Jong-un and folks like that. They want a supreme leader who has control of the military, who has destroyed all the government, different parts of the government that helps govern the people, Department of Education, all different things like that. They want to destroy it and then rebuild it to what they want it to be. These radical evangelical Christians. This is not going to fare well for us. It is not going to fare well. I have been, looking at the table of contents in that book and then picking out chapters that I'm interested in reading for myself, because this book is not an easy read, y'all. It's not an easy read. I'm going to say that at the outset. But it behooves you to take a moment. You don't even have to download the book. You go to their website. Across the top is a banner, and then you see a link to the book. And you can open it. And you can type in contraception, have it search the book for certain words that you want to know about what they're saying about that particular subject. So as I'm skipping around the book, I was sitting there thinking, again, is this what they want? Are the American people paying attention to this mess? Are they taking it seriously? Because y'all, this is not a time to be sitting out an election. In previous elections, we have said, hey, this is one of the most important elections of my lifetime. I gotta vote in this. This is one time where that is more true than ever before. It's almost like this next upcoming election is an election good versus evil. Because while I don't think that Biden is, just so on point with everything, I do believe that he has good intentions for the country. That when he says that he wants to get in there and work to try to make things better, I believe him, he might make some mistakes, he might be old, the whole nine, but I don't believe that he has bad intentions for the country. Trump, on the other hand, has that Putin-esque type of thinking where he believes that he's like a king, a mafia don, and everybody should fall in place under him. He's a narcissistic idiot, is what he really is. And he wants to use, the military against the American people. Weaponize, I guess the Department of Justice to go after his political enemies. That is not a man who is thinking about the good of the American people, the good of America. And for him to say that he knows nothing about Project 2025 is some bull. I watched a speech that he did a couple years ago. He specifically spoke about the Heritage Foundation and the work that they were doing on this book that has now come out. He said they did a good job, that the the blueprint that they were creating was what the Republicans should stand on, and it's a plan, and how wonderful and phenomenal the work that they were doing was. Well, here we are. Trump's name is mentioned in this book over 300 times. A lot of the people who are co-authors of the book worked in the Trump administration. Over 140 people. These are people, and when you read the contributors to this book, in the beginning of it, some of the names you're going to be very familiar with. They were in Trump's administration. He's been collaborating with these people, and a lot of stuff that's in this book, you've heard him speak about, what he wanted and how he wants it to be. Y'all, I just feel like if we allow this man to get back in office, America is in for a world of trouble. Trouble like we've never seen before. Because like I said, sometimes it's not an outside entity that destroys a country. They implode from the inside out. They destroy themselves. The Roman Empire, one of the greatest empires that ever graced this earth, basically, they set the wheels into motion for their own demise. And it's like we're repeating history. We have a choice here in November. We have a choice to sit it out because it's two old men that we don't want. Or we say, like people are saying, take the lesser of two evils and vote for Biden. Because a vote for Trump is not something that we want, y'all. We don't want to even envision an America where he has a score to fill. Just think about it. And like I said, it behooves you to, even if you're not up to reading 900 pages of this craziness, browse the book. Anything that you're concerned about, search that book for what they want to do with that. Because you're going to be surprised. I came away after reading different segments like saying to myself, oh my God, this is something like out of a sci-fi movie. A New World Order, the Republican agenda. It's literally terrifying. Because I cannot imagine the America that they wanted to be. I can't imagine living in a country in America under a dictator who has complete authority over everything, who has destroyed every foundation, every advance that America has made to suit his own evil ego. And so he can be the ultimate ruler. I cannot imagine living in a country like that. Y'all, these are just my thoughts. Let me know down in the comments what you think. And last thing, please vote in November. Please vote. This is one of the most important elections of our lifetime. Good versus evil. And with that, thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.